Hello! It's been a long time since I posted a video on one of the signs, so I apologize for my absence. I'm going to start putting these out a lot more often. Today I'm talking about Libra. This is the second air sign in the zodiac, cardinal air. So this is a sign that's a go-getter. I don't want to say go-getter, an initiator. The cardinal signs are initiators. So what Libra is initiating is relationships. They're directly opposite Aries, which is about the self, and Libra is about that other side, the other axis, which is relationships. So that kind of gives a false impression of how Libra energy really manifests, I think, because what it sounds like, and it can come off like this, especially when Libra is the moon placement, but generally Libra suns come off as a little more aloof, disconnected, a little more indifferent to what's going on around them. Not to what's going on around them, but to situations. Libra's defining quality is their fair-mindedness. They're very logical, they're very diplomatic, they know how to charm, but the fair-minded bit, that's what's really important to remember about Libra. Now, again, they're directly opposite Aries. Aries is very much about the self, very much about reacting, I don't want to say emotionally, but impulsively. So what Aries is feeling, that's what they're going to act on generally. Libra is way more about measuring, calculating the cost, seeing what makes sense to them on a logical level, and seeing if they can come at it from someone else's perspective. They're very good at putting themselves in someone else's shoes. So they're represented by the scales for that reason. They really measure their reactions. They really measure what makes sense and what doesn't. They don't really react completely from a place of impulsivity. I think that's the word. Libra is generally very charming. They're ruled by Venus, the planet of love, pleasure, beauty, art. They're very charming. They're the more sociable of the two Venus-ruled signs. Taurus is very much more grounded, much more reserved. Libra is very sociable. They're very oriented towards relationship, very oriented towards partnership. They recognize innately the need that they have for other people. They understand that they can't go it alone. And that's something, a strength they have that Aries doesn't really have. Aries thinks they can go it alone even when they can't. And Libra really understands the need for partnership, not just romantic partnership, but any kind of partnership. They really understand that human need, and they understand that we're better together, that we can complete each other and make up for each other's differences. They very much understand the concept of yin and yang. In relationships, I've noticed about Libra, now don't crucify me for this, but I've noticed about Libra that they tend to be a sign that is more open towards open relationships. And why I think this is that Libra is so fair-minded that they don't really, it's not that they don't invest themselves in their monogamous relationship, or they wouldn't invest themselves in a monogamous relationship, but it seems with Libra placements, they almost can't separate themselves from the idea of equality and fair-mindedness. Another sign might say, you're the most beautiful girl in the world, the most handsome man in the world, like no one compares to you. But Libra is a little more likely than other signs to say, well, that might not be true. Other people have something to offer. You might lack a strength that this person has, or and not physically. I mean, you might lack a personality trait that I prefer that this other person has. And that's not to say they don't completely love their partner if they're in a monogamous relationship. They just are naturally more logical, and they understand that what they're saying might not be true in that instance. But then again, they're charming as all get out, and they're sweet talkers, so who really knows? But I've just noticed that Libra placements tend to be a little more open towards open relationships and things of that nature, even going so far as to be more open sexually, as far as if they know that they're straight, or they think they're straight, they might be more open to experimenting, because they understand that if they haven't tried, they don't know. That's kind of the whole place that Libra comes from. They understand that if they don't try something, they don't really have a place to talk about it. They understand that other perspectives have merit, and they don't really have a right to weigh in on certain matters unless they have been there themselves. Now, even when a Libra puts up that indifferent front that I talked about earlier, they do have this indifference that comes from the being opposite Aries, which is all passion and fire and impulsivity. Again, I don't really know if that's a word. I think it is. But being directly opposite Aries, that's all passion, Libra can have this indifferent front because they're so logical and so fair-minded. They're a little indifferent about certain situations. However, they are very relationship-oriented, and they do care a lot about the people that are important to them in their lives. So they might really seem indifferent. They might have this really airy, logical air about them, but at the end of the day, they care a lot about their friendships, and they don't want to lose their friendships. They care a lot about the people that they love. They're very, very much about partnership. I've noticed with Libra Sun, Libra Moon friends of mine, they tend to come off very detached, but later on you find out that they care a whole lot more than they ever let you know, because they're just very relationship oriented, and it's almost coming from a logical place that they're so relationship oriented. Again, like I said earlier, it's because they understand the need for partnership. Now, as with every sign, there is a dark side to Libra, and one of the dark sides of Libra, with that open-mindedness and that sort of detached, don't know until you try it thing, with an unevolved Libra, that can actually come down to cheating. They can be cheaters, and I've heard a lot of people complain about Libra being cheaters. That it's a stupid thing to say that any sign has like any one sign will always act out a certain way. I'm an Aries, so I'm supposed to be a rageaholic, right? I'm not. And Libra is not always going to cheat. This is just the dark side. So it can manifest as being a cheater, because they're already so flirtatious, they're already so charming, they're already so attractive and magnetic in this really Venusian way. So that can come down to cheating if it's an unevolved Libra and they don't really know how to handle that. Another dark side to Libra is the tendency to care so much about other people and be so much of a people pleaser that they become codependent and they don't stand up for themselves. Even when someone is trampling them, when somebody is taking over their lives, essentially, they really want to people please. And I've really noticed this in Libra moons. I've noticed it a lot in Libra moons, because the moon sign is so personal, and so it's like the moon sign is really who you are deep down. That's your instinctual emotional reaction. So with Libra placements, there is a tendency to allow themselves to be manipulated, allow themselves to be codependent, to give too much, um, and to not really understand that they deserve equality in that partnership as well. Libras are going to be the friends that buy you 50 Christmas gifts. I felt so bad last year. My Libra friend, and I didn't have the money. It's not like I was really trying to not get her a Christmas present, and I did get her something small, but like she came to my house with 50 Christmas presents, like Christmas presents stuffed into a shoebox, packed tight, and then a bag full of Christmas presents. And I was like, I don't really have much for you. But yeah, Libras just really, they love to give and they love to make the people that they love happy. Another dark side to Libra, they tend to be gossipy. They can be really gossipy, and with that relationship orientedness, they like to make connections in any way possible. And if the only way that they can think to do that is to talk crap about the next person, they'll do that. I've noticed some Libras tend to have a problem with gossiping and talking crap about other people. But of course, they're really they're people pleasers, so they won't always come out and say that to your face. One thing that I don't know if it's a dark side or not, but it really grinds my gears as an Aries sun. Libra placements tend to gravitate towards playing devil's advocate. Even if it's for the devil, they will play devil's advocate. I've noticed it a lot in the rising sign, but like any Libra placement, they will listen to your story and they might say, "Oh my God, that's so terrible." And then 2 minutes later, they'll come and say, "Well, I don't really know. I wasn't there." It's like, I'm telling you my perspective. I'm telling you what happened to me. And you're going to sit there and tell me that you don't know, you weren't there. Or they just really want to help you see the other side of the equation, the other side of what could be going on. They want you to see the other person's perspective. And sometimes you just don't want to. I don't want to. So that's actually a really good quality, and I do try to do that. And my Sagittarius moon is a little bit like that in a more haughty way, because Sagittarius can be kind of haughty. But Libra placements just really want to understand everybody's perspective, and they understand that everybody has feelings, everybody has something to bring to the table. So that's pretty much where Libra is coming from. And as an Aries sun, it gets on my nerves. I don't know that means it's a dark side, unless there's clearly something evil going on and Libra is trying to defend it. That could be a dark side. But other than that, I think it's just a pet peeve of mine. Thank you so much for watching. I promise I will have more of these out soon. Subscribe to my channel. I hope you enjoyed this. Blah, blah, blah. All that stuff.